Good evening. I would like to call to order the Board of Library Trustees of the Arlington Heights Memorial Library meeting for this Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Burrell? Here. Trustee Gala? Here. Trustee Kelly is currently not here. Trustee McLeany?
Here.
Trustee Fennel?
Here.
Trustee Blatz? Here. President Samari?
Here. We could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Sure. I don't like to see this on screen. Do we have, I see we have many visitors tonight, many presenters from the library staff. Do we have any public comment? Yes, come on up. If you wouldn't mind just telling us your name, and we do have about a 3-minute limit, but if you go over, you're fine.
Where do you want?
Why don't you come up in the front so we can all see you? Thank you.
Members of the Young Heights Board and staff, thank you for allowing me to speak at this meeting. My comments are in regard to the upcoming book acquisition. I have written to the library director and board regarding this earlier this year. Based on review of the board minutes, I did not see where this letter was considered. My request is that this letter be made part of this board meeting and that it be included in the minutes. It is my understanding the board has decided to move ahead with its purchase. I made a FOIA request September 9th for any information regarding the bookmobile. As of this morning, I am still waiting for a reply. I also made a specific request for the consultant to provide the references for the history of issues regarding the Winnebago commercial EV chassis. This information has also not been provided. My major concern is regarding the choice of a diesel engine and generator for the bookmobile. This choice ensures the library will be creating a deadly, dirty legacy. It will in the coming years contribute to pollution, cancer risks, and other threats. Will also subject both staff and patrons to the immediate effects of diesel exhaust while the diesel generator is running during bookmobile stops. My request is that the above issues be considered by the library board and staff. I would also request that the minutes clearly reflect that this decision has been made to reject the EV platform, and that a deadly, dirty diesel has been chosen instead. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your words. I am going to find out from our attorney whether or not we can put your letter in these minutes. And I will make sure that you find out exactly. I have to look at the update of when this, the bookmobile was approved. So thank you for that.
Will you let me know when it was approved?
Yeah, I'll just do it right after the meeting because it's online, it's on our website. It's in the minutes and I just don't want to give you the wrong date.
No, I couldn't find it, that's fine.
Okay, yes, I will do that right after the meeting. Okay, do we have any other public comment? No, okay. Liaison reports.
I see we have a member from the Friends, Brian, if you'd like to.
Sure.
Give us an
So
update.
I hope everybody had a great summer. We did. So we just had our August sale. We raised $26,500 on the book sale. I'm not sure if it's known, but we had kind of said that sale money was going to go to our part of the bookmobile donation. So we've got a good head start on that. We still have $47,000 committed funds that we're going to be paying for. We got the 3D printers at kind of the last minute, but we got 6 sold already. And there might have been a few more because that number's from a few weeks ago. Oh, from the money of the August sale, people donated an additional $600 top of books that they purchased towards our drive for the bookmobile. Our next sale is, first week in November, the 8th and 9th. And I want to say thanks to IT facilities, other staff that always make our sales so successful by spending the extra time to help us out, get set up and print materials and all the fun stuff that they do, and credit card readers, which are seem to be an issue. So thanks.
Well, thank you very much. We so appreciate our friends of the library and all you do for us. And we're really thrilled that you're able to help us with the bookmobile purchase. All right, how about the foundation?
Don't have a update from the foundations.
Okay. All right, moving on to approval of the minutes from the regular board meeting of August 19th, 2025. May I have a motion?
Move to approve the board minutes of the regular board meeting of August 19th, 2025.
All right, and a second? All right, so the motion was made by trustee Watts and seconded by trustee Gala. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Approval of the minutes of the committee of the whole on September 8th, 2025.
I move to approve the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of September 8th, 2025.
Second.
All right, and trustee Watts made the motion and it was seconded by trustee, I don't know why I cannot pronounce your last name. Pronounce it for me, please. McClady. That's not difficult. I don't know why I have it in my head. All right, all in favor? Aye. Aye, thank you. All right, moving on to the review of the financial report for the period ending August 31st.
Okay, for revenue, our real estate tax revenue totaled $82,550.17 for the month of August. The library received personal property replacement taxes in the amount of $4,335.27 this month. Our copier printer revenue totaled $4,386.91. Meeting room fees were $200. Lost item charges totaled $1,233.02. August interest income was $14,083.90. Donations totaled $151,516, which reflects the use of deferred donations that are being recognized in conjunction with the bookmobile expenditures this month. This way, the net income statement impact will be zero for any part of the project funded by donations. Other income was $780.63. Revenue collected for vehicle stickers totaled $306. Makerspace miscellaneous revenue was $767.82. And the total revenue collected in August was $260,239.73. For expenses, 67% of the fiscal year is lapsed, and we've expensed 63% of our total operating budget. The favorable variance to date is $202,092. I did have a question about program spending. Program spending is at 55% of our annual budget as of August. Are we pacing appropriately to stay on budget by the end of the year, or should we expect a heavier fall winter spend? Based on the projections that we have from the manager, we expect to stay on budget for year end for programming accounts, if not slightly under. 32% of the total annual capital budget has been expensed as of August. The interior renovations are now underway in the library, and along with the foundation, we made the first payment on the new bookmobile. $50,000 came from the foundation, $150,000 came from donations, and $100,000 came from the budgeted amount that we had in our budget for this year. That is everything I have for the financial report. Any questions?
Anyone else have questions? No? All right, moving on to review of the check register.
Okay, there's quite a few here, so bear with me. On page 2 and page 11, check 104859 to M&J Technologies Direct. In the amount of $16,312.58. That is for a 3-year Sophos antivirus subscription renewal. This protects all of the staff and public computers on our networks, as well as the servers that support the library in their services. On page 3, check 104780 to Argonne Electric for $18,680 as part of the interior renovations project that was to retrofit the numerous interior lighting fixtures throughout the library, including removal and replacement of all exterior canopy lights. So if you notice, the exterior lighting is much brighter now. On page 3, also check 104819 to First Presbyterian Church for $750 That is for 3 months of parking space rental. So to free up space in our main parking lot here at the library, we rent spaces from First Presbyterian Church in the parking lot getting ported from us. And we asked some staff to park over there. On page 4, check 104847, Library Furniture International, in the amount of $4,592. That's a new display unit, shelving unit for the adult large type collection. Also on page 4, check 104870 for quick delivery service. $1,449.07. That is for collection of items from the book drops between Camelot and Frontier Parks, the senior center, and the library. Next year, we anticipate making operational adjustments so that we can absorb these drops internally rather than using a delivery service. On page 6, check 104889 to State Graphics in the amount of $1,161.65. That is for updated security flip charts. So rather than having a large safety manual, we have over 100 copies of speed flip charts that hang throughout the building, in pretty much in every room. That gives quick reference for different emergency things. The current ones are 15 years old and have been maintained by using sticker overlays. With some of the layout changes that we've had in the recent past, we are going through and changing all of those out. The new ones will allow us to maintain them regularly with lower costs by using standard printing paper rather than the laminated sets we have now. On page 11, check 104786, the Baker and Taylor for the amount of $3,075. That is a software subscription for TS360. This is the product we use to select an order from Baker and Taylor, which is our primary vendor for collection items. Besides description of the items, TS360 also includes reviews from a variety of review journals. Also on page 11, check 104805 and 104873 to Comcast and RCN. The amounts of those checks are $2,011.90 and $4,143.93 respectively. The Comcast internet service is for the public internet, which supports the computer lab, public Wi-Fi, and all the devices that are utilized by the public, such as the self-checks, catalog stations, Kids World, the hub, laptop lending, etc. And the RCN internet is to support all the staff devices, as well as our data for the website, email, and all of our hosted services. These are failover connections that we can utilize in the event that one of the provider experiences an outage. Then on page 11 and 12, check 104879 to SendSource in the amount of $3,024. That's replacement of 2 people counter units in the core entrance, which is the lower entrance in the parking garage. That includes tech support and housing of our data. Page 12, check 104892 to Telecom Innovations Group for the amount of $12,748.25. That is an upgrade to our phone system that was completed in August, which entailed all new phone servers, migrations, desktop clients, and mobile apps. Additionally, this upgrade replaced all of our overhead paging system software and provided staff with training. This should extend the use of our current phone system at least another 5 years. So we find that it's a good investment. The only thing really that we have to replace at this point going forward is just the handsets if they go bad. On page 16 and 17, check 104776 to Amazon. There's various refunds there. Those are refunds on materials for FanCon craft that was canceled. We returned all the items for a full refund, even though most of the items were on the same order. Amazon grouped the refunds into multiple credit memos. So that's why you see multiple lines there. On page 21, check 104835 to Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, or IMRF, in the amount of $13,992.52. That is for an employee accelerated payment for a former staff member. These can occur when a final payout of vacation, overtime, or other accrued benefits upon separation triggers IMRF to identify and bill a shortfall in our account for the retiree. The process is that we make the payment to replenish the account and then apply for an exemption by submitting documentation for which of those underlying reasons triggered the shortage. When IMRF approves the exemption, they will not return the funds directly, but rather transfer them into our employee reserves, where it comes back to us in arrears via a reduced employee rate. Then on page 22, check 104891 to Tech Ops Specialty Vehicles for the amount of $251,152.02. That was for the 50% down payment on the new bookmobile. And while it shows $251,000 in our budget, as I mentioned before, part of that is donation, part of that is out of our budget. So I think there's $150,000 came from donations that we had accrued, and then $100,000 out of our budget. On page 24 and 52, check 104815 and 104748, or I'm sorry, 784. Those are to AHML, those are credit card charges. There was a $2,589.44 deposit and $2,514 balance, which is the total of $5,103.46. This is for the One Book One Gala catering. That includes past appetizers and service, this will be the largest single expense for the event. This is not to be confused with the Forky's Barbecue catering charge for $114.95 on the American Express for the Maker Place program. So you have a flyer for the One Book One Gala event coming up on September 27th at your chairs. Next on page 24, various, I'm sorry, this is also a point about the gala. There was a question about if we'll be counting attendance and how it compares to other big events. We will be counting attendance. We're looking for around 300 people to attend that event. This is probably pretty similar in size to like the author event. The author event is considerably more expensive than this one, probably about double that what we would be spending for this. FanCon is probably around the same cost and generates more people into the library. So among large events, this probably fits right about within the limit. Page 51, check 104782 to AHML. This is special funds. It was $15. This was a petty cash reimbursement of parking costs at Fan Expo, which is a yearly comic book fandom convention at Rosemont Convention Center. Our Maker Place assistant manager, Chris Kruger, moderated a panel run by Maker Place staff, Lisa Hale, and 4 other libraries on how public library maker spaces can be an asset to makers in the cosplay, costuming, and prop making community. And then on the American Express credit card summary, there was a $3,109.06 charge on there that has been refunded. That was 2 unauthorized charges on our American Express card, which were identified quickly by staff and then refunded by American Express in September. We are looking to transition credit card companies in the near future due to the frequency of fraudulent charges that we get on this card in this account and the delayed resolution time that we've experienced lately with American Express. So that is everything I had for the finance or the check register. Does anybody have any other questions? I think I read all.
Yeah, thank you.
I move approval of the accounts payable check register for the Arlington Heights Memorial Library for August 31st, 2025 in the amount of $1,549,123.97. Second.
All right, the motion was made by trustee Gala and it was seconded by trustee Watts. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Burrell,
Yes.
trustee Gala,
Abstain. Point of clarification, because my check for the IOA, do I need to abstain for the approval or for the vote? Because my reimbursement and my,
No, you don't. If we had I feel like we've had 7 separate motions when people have.
I didn't notice that on the check register.
Yeah, yes.
Did the library pay for this?
Yeah, this was our I think this was your
Yeah,
IL
but the
registration.
payment is
Right.
not coming to you.
Yeah,
then
the
it is
payment's not, no.
Yeah.
no, it was
It's
just
not a reimbursement.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Right. Okay, so that was the point.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, that's the difference.
my brain got a little twisted. Okay, then we're all good. So then, yes.
Trustee McLean,
Yes.
trustee Meadow,
Yes,
trustee Watts.
Yes.
President Samari.
Yes. All right. Moving on to the executive director's report.
Okay, a few things to highlight this month. On the first page, August continues to be the library's biggest outreach month of the year. From the village-wide Heritage Fest at the Trickster Community Center in Schaumburg, Forest View Educational Center in South Arlington Heights, to supporting community partner Omni to distribute over 800 backpacks at their summer celebration. Staff brought library services to many places last month. In total, library staff connected with over 1,000 individuals, meeting people where they are. By showing up at the cultural celebrations and back to school events, the library continues to play a vital role in helping families start the school year on the right foot while celebrating the rich diversity of cultures and heritage in our community. The next page toward the bottom, one of the staff highlights I want to point out, our programs and exhibits specialist Neil traveled to WBEZ Chicago for a live taping of Reset, which host Sasha Ann Simmons. He was featured discussing the library's Wind Phone and Deaf Cafe programs. The segment highlighted how these initiatives create meaningful spaces for grief and reflection, demonstrating the library's commitment to community healing. Coordinated and by Communications and Marketing Supervisor April, the coverage strengthens the library's reputation as a leader in wellness focused program. Then on the next page, just highlighting other places in the community where we are. In the parks, the bookmobile and youth services staff closed out another season of Storytime in the Park. At 4 Park District locations, library staff interacted with 1,155 customers over the summer. In addition, bookmobile and community and circulations services staff engaged with over 130 attendees at Picnic in the Park. And then Info Services Advisors hosted the first silent book discussion at Cocoa and Blue for 29 attendees. Attendees brought books that they were currently reading, found a comfy spot, and read silently with fellow book lovers. During the last 30 minutes, attendees engaged in casual conversation about what they're reading, and would recommend. Attendees shared that it was a fun way to socialize with other book lovers in the community. And then on page 4 at the bottom, our programs and exhibits coordinator Nikki and digital services specialist Chris welcomed 123 attendees to an astronomy program in the library's parking lot. Members of the Lake County Astronomical Society brought their telescopes and expertise to share the stars and skies with the attendees. Chris brought out the library's telescope, including the Sea Star, so attendees could try them and learn about checking them out from the library. Shout out to our electronic resources librarian Bill for getting this program off the ground, and facilities for dimming the lights for an optimal viewing experience. And on page 5, the emerging adults. August marked the first month the library offered 2 20s and 30s programs, giving this growing audience options. On August 6th, acquisitions assistant Alex welcomed 13 Alex to the Maker Place Kitchen for a hands-on creative coffees class with barista Nikki Zimmerman. Attendees learned trend-savvy drinks, pistachio iced latte, espresso tonic, coconut cloud coffee, and cold brew with butterfly pea flower cold foam, all while learning and sharing tips and socializing. On August 20th, programs and exhibits coordinator Nikki welcomed 15 attendees to Beer in the Wall for a happy hour meetup. Snacks were provided by the library, drinks available for purchase, and the group bonded over everything from marching band to baseball. Then on page 6, Heritage Fest, the 4th annual Heritage Fest, presented in partnership with the Arlington Heights Park District and the Village of Arlington Heights, had a great turnout. With more than 500 people in attendance, the event celebrated cultural diversity with performances, delicious food, and opportunities to connect with local cultural organizations. Many library staff and volunteers showcased their cultures and highlighted the traditions of India, Ireland, Japan, and the USA and Poland, along with bilingual literacy through multilingual books, thanks to the friends of the library. And on that same page at the bottom, for the second year in a row, the library partnered with Omni to collect backpacks for local families, helping to ensure students are ready to thrive for the new school year. Thanks to the generosity of the Arlington Heights community, more than 40 backpacks were donated, with many filled with extras like water bottles, headphones, and lunch bags. This incredible effort not only supports families in need, but also reinforces the library's role as a true community hub. Everything I was going to highlight, but I did want to answer a question about the 20s and 30s. There was a question about gauging interest and how, if we're going to make those programs permanent. So before we started along the program with the 20s and 30s, we conducted a few focus groups and to gauge interest and demand. This gave us a nice place to start. Our current metrics are attendance and feedback from our attendees of those programs. We generally pace ourselves and build the need before offering too many programs. However, they are not only continuing these programs, but are expanding to include programming at the Maker Place and partnerships with other outside organizations. Much of the feedback has asked for book discussions for that age range, so we are working on that as well. We program so far in advance that it does take a bit to assess the need and respond accordingly. This is true for all of our programming. We wouldn't say that these things are gonna be permanent, but it is part of our strategic plan and fulfills a need in the community, so it's not gonna go away anytime soon. We also know that the groups have met independently outside the library events, so we definitely are creating the desired impact to connect folks within the community. So that is everything I had for the director's report.
All right,
Questions?
any questions? I just wanna make a comment. This is always one of our favorite parts of the meeting when you go through all the things that have happened and how people reacted to them. And I also wanna just give a shout out to communications and marketing, because I love the pictures. I think the pictures say a lot too. You can see all the different age groups that we're hitting. You can see like in the pasta making picture, you know, men, women, young, not so young. So I think the pictures really add to that. And if anyone is watching online, the director's report and all the documents are on the website. And if it's tricky and you can't find them, you can always call the library and they can walk you through where they are. But I love the pictures, so thank you.
Okay, next up, I would like to invite Alice Sun to give us a presentation on outreach services developed for youth and their families. So let's see this.
What's that? Okay. Okay. So hello, good evening. My name is Alice Sun. I'm the Youth Services Senior Supervisor here at the library. That means that I supervise and oversee our youth programs and our youth outreach. And today I'm here to talk to you and give you a little bit of an overview of what we do in youth outreach. So, outreach services. Okay, so what does it mean to do library outreach? Luckily, we have the answer in our strategic plan. So if you look at the first goal in our strategic plan, it has everything to do with outreach. It also notes that, that we should identify and pursue strategies to engage the Arlington Heights community and provide services to customers where they are. And that last part of meeting customers where they are is a really important part for us in youth outreach to consider as we can think about how we connect our community, our youth in our community to the wealth of resources that we have here at the library. So for us, that also means that we're meeting the youth where they are physically, which is oftentimes how we think about outreach, but also developmentally. So really thinking about what we're doing and how we're providing it to be able to reach them, to actually reach them, so that they can understand as well as their caregivers can understand. So how do we do that? So here on the slide, we have a photo or snapshot of our town, Arlington Heights. And then on the right side, you'll see all the different sorts of like library buildings, what we consider the library, the main library maker place, as well as the bookmobile. So how do we get library services, which are usually centralized and housed in these buildings, to all the people of Arlington Heights? One way is the bookmobile. Bookmobile is a really great tool for us and a good way for us to really get out there. But really, in order to do that, we actually become kind of the library ourselves. We go one or two people, pack up a cart and drive around town and try to get as much of the library into a single cart as we can. So then who do we serve in youth outreach? So youth ages 0 to around 18, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Teachers and caregivers, as well as community partners who serve all these groups as well. So community partners who serve youth, teachers, and caregivers. That includes 29 preschools and daycares, 19 elementary and middle schools, and 7 high schools throughout Arlington Heights. We have a very large town. Okay, so what kind of services then do we offer through youth outreach? These are the kind of 4 main pillars, and there's lots of services that are written underneath there as well. So in considering access, we provide library accounts to schools, provide educators library cards as well, special library cards. students their cards upon enrollment as much as we can, as well as hosting library card drives at schools. We also provide resources, of course. One way we do that is provide resource bags. So this is an example of a resource bag here for a preschool. So if they were to ask for like snow, for instance, there's like all sorts of books about, picture books about snow, as well as flannels and other items from the library that we can send off to them in a bag. We also provide database instruction, use of library spaces through visits, as well as mobile visits as well. We also try to provide engagement and enrichment as much as possible. A lot of times what that looks like in our outreach is to provide customized programming, or when they request us to come, to really think about what the activities are going to be for the kids, and really thinking about the setting as well as what schools are looking for. We provide a lot of story times, book talks, author events, and school events. And then also the last thing we provide also is professional development for those caregivers and teachers as well. Trainings on literacy practices, as well as like lots of networking opportunities too. Okay, so with youth outreach, it is a little bit different because we have kind of a built-in audience with our schools. So a lot of our services do center around school services. So for our preschools and daycares, we're going to go for youngest to oldest preschools and daycares. We are starting with our youngest users to give them an introduction to the library and an introduction to the world of stories. So here you see our staff member, Miss Kim, going to some preschools in our community. So on the right here, it's a little bit blurry, but it was pajama day. It was pajama day at Camelot Park Preschool. And so Miss Kim actually decided to wear her robe and some footy slippers to come and join the kids in their pajama day and read them a story. On the left-hand side, you'll see a group of visitors from Christian Liberty Academy visiting the library and learning about Kids World, as well as being read a story. As well as visits to the library and outside the library. We also try to go to community events as well. So that is a picture of our District 214 Week of Young Child Expo, which happens annually. And we tabled there as a resource to families of kids under 4. And then last but not least, maybe not last, our preschool and information and childcare info night that we have here at the library. And we have hundreds of attendees come to that event as well. And then this is last but not least is our Little Mustangs visit at Rolling Meadows High School. There is a preschool there, and they have teen helpers actually help in the classroom. And so it's kind of a double youth outreach for us because we are also working with the teens, the high schoolers, as well as the preschoolers to go and bring the bookmobile to them. Here are some stats within the 2024-25 school year, which we determined was August to July, because we do have outreach in the summertime as well. We had 106 visits and events in libraries just for preschools and daycares, 2,864 of youth and families engaged. 201 of these resource bags were sent out with 3,183 items. Okay, moving on up to elementary and middle school. For elementary and middle schoolers, we really want to focus on connecting with them throughout the school year so that they can familiarize themselves with us and just understanding the library as a concept. This is around the age when they can actually start really understanding what the library is. So in order to do that, we provide a lot of tours for this age group and try to keep it fun and memorable as much as we can. So on the left-hand side, you'll see a photo of a bunch of St. James students who are all reading after having a tour of the library and choosing a book of their own to check out. On the right-hand side, we have 3 staff members who actually dressed up as different historical figures for a 5th grade visit where Ivy Hill students come annually to kind of choose a famous person and to read their biography. And then they'll actually be dressing up as the person as well for their split project. And so the staff members decided they were gonna also do that just to kind of show them in solidarity that it's still cool to dress up.
That's fun. Who's in the middle?
Oh, that's Carrie Bailey. And she's Amelia Earhart. That's who.
Nice.
That's what we tell Amelia Earhart and Gloria Steinem.
Love it.
For one of our tours, we used puppets, and I don't know who's behind there, except I do, because there's a photo of them, and all the kids are behind that couch with their puppets, having fun after the tour. Kids World. And then, this is a photo of a very recent new opportunity that we've had, is bookmobile pop-ups that are happening at existing bookmobile sites that are at schools, elementary schools. And so what we're doing is, during this month, we're kind of going to all those different sites and doing a little bit of a back to school event, and just kind of getting them, to remember that we exist as well as with the school year. Okay. For this age group, we also work with school groups like Science Olympiad and Scout groups to help connect them with resources too. This is a picture of our Thomas Middle School Science Olympiad who came to the Maker Place. They've come to the Maker Place for a few years now to kind of do some team building exercises with us, as well as just to familiarize themselves with the Maker Place and all the resources that are offered to them there now. And so this is a photo of them showing off the Mount Rushmore picture that they put together. It was kind of amazing. There was only like 5, maybe like 100 stickers on there initially, and some kid knew that it was Mount Rushmore immediately, which was very interesting because it didn't look like anything. On the right-hand side is a photo of another group that, and a thank you note that they sent our way. We also go to other social events that the schools are putting on, or other school events that are happening as well, for families and for families. And so this is at Poe School, and it is their ice cream social that happens at the beginning of every school year. This is a photo of an Earth Day event at Olive. Oh, and I should mention that at Earth Day, that was the year when the cicadas were out. And so everything was about cicadas, and all the kids knew about cicadas very well. I'm sure they played with them a lot outside. On the right-hand side is a photo of our our Explore More Day at Juliet Low, where kids are really encouraged to try different things. And then we also go to events like STEAM nights, where we oftentimes want to showcase some of the things that we can check out from our library of things, which are really focused on STEM and new services. And so that's why we have this sign made from our graphics team, made it for us to really showcase those items. All right, and services continue for this age group, elementary and middle schoolers. We also serve other groups, that these kids are part of, which aren't quite school, but kind of are. So for instance, it's like the CAP programs that are held by Arlington Heights Park District that happen at most of schools, which is like the before school and after school programs for those students. And so this is a photo from one of our CAP sites, or these both are photos from one of our CAP sites. On the right-hand side, they had read aloud a book with the library staff member on birds, and then they made bird journals. And then they went birding for a little bit, which was very fun. Okay, and then on the right-hand side again, that was during the winter, and they read a book about snow, of course, and you may not be able to see it in the background, but they are actually playing with fake snowballs. So they're having a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, a squabble, maybe, a fun time with the snowballs indoors, because they weren't able to go outside. And on the left-hand side, we have a photo of World of Work, which is also an initiative through the PTO that happens in our elementary schools, where the students are given opportunities to work in actual workplaces for the day. And so the library has been a site for a very long time. Fifth graders have come to work with us for a day in circulation, as well as in new services. And in this photo, two of our fifth graders are helping make items for our upcoming program for tweens. Okay, so it's really important that we are out here with the elementary school kids, and really, like I said, making a memorable, fun time. It is really amazing actually as to how much the kids can remember your face and who you are, just from having that visit with them and having that positive time. For instance, like I had in the spring hosted one of the World of Work groups, and just 2 weeks ago, I was at the farmer's market in Arlington Heights at the library table, and a kid had stopped by and was like, "Hey, do you work at the library?" I'm like, "Yes, I work at the library. I'm standing at the library table." But also she was like, "Oh, I remember you from World of Work." And I was like, "I remember you too." It was like a nice little moment. And that happens often, actually, especially with the elementary school kids, where they come see us at the kids' roll desk and they're just so surprised to see our faces because they've seen us at school and then they see us here. It's like one of those weird things where kids like, you know, if they see their teachers outside of school, it's like it's a
You don't
moment.
live
It's a
in-
moment. Exactly.
You don't
It's so
live in-
exactly. It's a moment. So it keeps it memorable and hopefully fun. So here are some stats for this age group as well. 195 visits and events with the library last school year and 12,483 youth and families engaged throughout that time. Right, high schoolers. So with high schoolers, teens are a little bit maybe more challenging to impress at times. But that is not too difficult for us, I'd say, because we come with goodies. So we have we go to all of our different high schools and provide a program called Tinker Days, where we go to the school's lunches and have all sorts of different activities that also feature this thing called the Bucket of Weird, which is a bucket full of very interesting things. And so if they engage with us or if they win like at a game or anything that we're doing, they may be able to select from the Bucket of Weird, which actually is a really great incentive for them. Just because they enjoy, even though these things are probably easily accessible to them for a lot of them, it's just fun and weird. And that's like a very big kind of pro for teens. So for our Tinker Days, we actually do partner with our other local libraries, because with District 214 in particular, the district lines are drawn across towns. And so we want to make sure that those schools and the students at those schools are able to get the fullest experience of a library. And that may mean us partnering with other libraries that serve that area. And so we coordinate and partner with those libraries to do just that. This is also a time for us to really address like teens who are stressed out. Teens are more stressed than ever currently in this day and age. And so what the schools have told us too is that they really need some time to de-stress, which is why Tinker Days is a perfect option for them during lunchtime to come and just do something fun with their friends and with us. And so here are just some photos of teens having a good time. Magnet tiles you may think are for kids, but teens like them too. And then additionally, we also serve the Forest View Specialized School, which is a District 214 in the District 214 system. This is Tinker Days that are happening at Newcomer Academy and Vanguard. We also provide things like database presentation at St. Viator High School, but I don't have an exciting photo. So you'll just have to take my word for it that we do that, and the teens do learn. Newly too, for high school outreach, you can find us at the football games this fall. So for high schoolers, we've had 48 visits in the last school year with 2,194 youth and families engaged. Okay, so kids also come with adults, usually. That's usually a package deal. And so we do also serve adults. And it's just as important to equip adults in kids' lives with the tools to support them as it is to serve the kids themselves. So this is a photo of our District 214 Center for Career Discovery staff. And they had reached out to us to learn more, to ask if we had any other resources that may help them. And we had just added a new database called Blue Career, which is about which is a good way for people to be able to navigate skills in trades and different careers that way. And so they had come and received a presentation on that database and used it as professional development time. And then this is a photo of some students and PTO members at Ivy Hill Elementary School. And we had worked with them to provide the parents some like book discussion training tips and tricks for how they should host their book discussions at lunchtime with their students. Okay. It's also important to us, like I said, when we're meeting people where they are, that we're also meeting them developmentally and also making sure that it's accessible for everyone. And that means that we really customize our services to meet the needs of our community. This is a photo of a sensory story time. Those two are photos of sensory story times that we posted special for Riley School students in their special education program. The right-hand side photo is a photo of high schoolers from John Hersey High School Special Ed program who came to visit the hub and learn about its resources. More students from Buffalo Grove High School who came with a special project. They wanted to make special t-shirts for their group. They were successful in doing that here at the library. Here's a Tinker Day that we had held at Forest View Educational Center, and our friend Ann in Circulation Services joined us for that. And then we also worked with the Women and Children Center and other groups like the Newcomer Center, where they serve populations of like immigrant communities or people who are not proficient in English. And so we have worked with them in a Women and Children Center specifically. It's a grant funded program that we work with District 214's community education program to provide. And we do monthly visits there as well as monthly visits here for the women and their families, their children. And so the program is meant to be able to serve both groups, both the women in order to help them and their skills to be able to navigate this country and help their kids in school. And then also to provide some enrichment for the young kids as well. Right, and so there's some stats as well, 24 visits and events to the library for adults and 565 adults and families engaged in that last school year. So we have many different outreach partners in the community, but I wanted to highlight our partners that are here directly in the library. So we work a lot with the bookmobile, if you've seen from photos, which is very important. The bookmobile is very highly requested. And of course it is, because it's so much fun. Look at it. It's a library on wheels, which is so awesome. So that is a department and a group that we work with often to provide these services, and communication and circulation services also comes with us often to be able to register kids for library cards and families for library cards. Okay, so what do we learn from outreach? So these are two photos, and the one on the left is a bookmobile visit that happens at Stonebridge Apartments every Monday. We heard from our bookmobile friends that that there were lots and lots of kids coming to the site. And so so one summer the youth outreach department decided that that we were going to be joining them and providing some extra enrichment for those kids. And after having done that, we really learned more about the population, and it was very much a population that didn't celebrate Halloween. And every year the library holds a big like Halloween fun program that we have for young children. But instead of that, they celebrated Diwali in this community. And so from having that outreach experience, we really got to learn more about the community to provide a special program, Diwali, at their apartment complex, and to really meet them where they are. Okay, so this is our youth outreach team. These are the folks, a small but mighty team that coordinates youth outreach, listens to our community, and helps our department respond to our community members. We work really hard to meet the library's strategic goal for outreach. And I should mention though, that even though there's three of them, three staff members dedicated to youth outreach, it is the whole youth services team that really provides it to be able to reach as many people as we can, as many of all these different schools, and make all these bags and do all these things. We really need the power of the whole team, and it's been really awesome to work with everybody we all have the same mission to provide that. And so, yeah, we work really hard to meet the library's strategic goal, and especially to meet our community where they are, even if it means packing the library into a small cart and driving it across Arlington Heights. So with that, thank you for your time. I hope you learn more about youth outreach. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. What amazing outreach you do. I feel like you reach every child in Arlington Heights. And there's how lucky quite a few schools and daycares live within walking distance of the library, so that's terrific for them too, right? To be able to come here so closely. I had just had two questions. One, when you talk about the high schools, you mentioned Vider with some outreach. Do you do outreach with Christian Liberty High School students as well?
Yeah, we do a lot of outreach for the younger age groups at Christian Liberty, but some of it is very much like based on what the school is wanting
Yeah.
also too. So we haven't had a ton of like high school age outreach at Christian Liberty, but we're always willing to, yeah.
Because they're very close too. And then what about, maybe it's not outreach, but homeschool populations?
Oh, yeah. Homeschool populations is a great question. We do have a program that we hold monthly here at the library, called Homeschool Hangout. And it is like an open invitation to all homeschoolers and their families to come. We typically see a lot of like elementary age kids or like younger kids, and their families, because a lot of times all siblings are coming as well. And so that is kind of their opportunity to come and, learn more about resources that we have. The librarian who hosts that and check really does a lot of work to think about what resources to highlight each visit.
Wonderful. Well, I can tell you as someone that works in a grade school in a different town, people are excited when it's library day and when it's Mount Prospect, when the Mount Prospect children's department comes and does story time. So thank you very much. It's really impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Collection Services here to talk to us about and walk us through the step of adding a item to the library collection. So I'm gonna just share that for you now.
You also have for us. So, hello, and thank you for having us here today. Some sharp eyes must have noticed that the title of our presentation has changed from what it was mentioned in the agenda. Consider that as a plot twist to keep things interesting. So let's begin, shall we? We are here to represent the Collection Services Group. And let's take you on a spellbinding journey of how items are selected and brought to the shelves of the library. So the Collection Services has 4 divisions: selection, acquisitions, cataloging, and processing. And under the guidance of our manager, Lisa Bobbis, we work as a cohesive team to develop and deliver world-class collection for our community. So,
hi, my name is Natalie and I'm a selector. In our division, our supervisor is Claire. We have 3 selectors, including her, and 2 interlibrary loan assistants, and they are responsible for getting materials from other libraries for our customers. So as selectors, a big part of our job is selecting. So we select books, movies, music, video games, puzzles, Yodo audiobooks, ebooks, e-audiobooks, and more. We read review journals every month, such as Publishers Weekly, Library Journal, and Book List, just to see what the professionals are recommending and to discover new materials. We also receive online cards from our vendor, Baker and Taylor, every month, just with the upcoming materials in them. As you can see from the picture, one card I got in July had over 400 items in it. Obviously, we can't add everything to the library just because of space limitations. So we have to go through and decide what would be best for our community. We also answer purchase suggestions. So from January to August 2025, we have answered 4,461 suggestions. So we have all this great material coming into the library. We have to make sure that we have enough room for it. So another part of our job is moving the new and popular items into our older or stacks area. And items can stay in the new area anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on the collection and the space that we have for it. So each selector gets a shelf in our workroom, and this is for things that we put on hold that we want to evaluate further, or things that are damaged. And as you can see from the picture, the shelf filled up pretty fast, especially when you're on vacation. So The damages, some issues with the damages are broken bindings, torn covers, missing pieces, stains, things like that. So we have to decide if we want to withdraw it, replace it, or send it to processing for repair. Material handlers also pull 2 kinds of carts for us every month. We have our garbage carts, which are items that have been checked out more than 100 times. So they are probably not in the best condition. So we need to take a look and see if we would like to withdraw those items or replace them. We also get our reading carts, and these are items that haven't circulated for quite a bit of time in the library, so we probably would like to withdraw them. We can also run our home reports, so we needed more room for our fiction area. So I ran a report to see any audiobooks that weren't circulating. And we withdrew over 1,000 audiobooks to make more room for our fiction area, which is a lot, which is very popular. We also go to the senior center every month and withdraw their items. In 2024, we withdrew over 1,000 items to make more room for new material. The book has designated shelves in our workroom of older material, and so we also withdraw those materials because they continuously have new items as well. We want to make sure we have space for them. A really fun part of our job is creating some of the displays that you see out on the floor. So we are currently in charge of 3 display units. We have our curated display, which we find materials for, such as the popular influencers of Heights display. And then the other 2 displays, we just pull items from the stats area to fill it. So we are in charge of coming up with the ideas, requesting the signage and graphics, filling the items, setting up the displays, taking it down, and recording the stats. We also refill the displays as needed. Since we started doing this in February 2024, we have gotten 6,506 checkouts. Another big part of our job is creating new collections. So we recently debuted our Kids World Hot Mix collection on September 8th. And so far, 79% of the collection is checked out. So that is 138 items out of 174 that have checked out. So it has been very popular. We also made a Hallmark DVD section, just so all Hallmark movies are in one place. So it's easier to browse for people who like to watch those types of movies. We also update the collection. So recently we changed our foreign language world DVDs to world language, so we can have more inclusive terms at the library. And so we have all these great things going on, and we want to make sure that people know about it. So we like to promote our collections through collection spotlights in our newsletter that goes out to the residents. And then we also add ebooks and e-audiobooks to the Cloud Library homepage that we want people to discover. We also have our interlibrary loan staff, and they search and place orders for customers to borrow materials from other libraries. They communicate with the customers by answering questions and resolving any issues that arise. And they also assist selectors by pulling items to review, and they help us fill some of our displays. And now I will pass it on to acquisition.
Hello, I am Soumya Goswami, one of the acquisitions assistant. So we are a team of Marie Gimnanek, who's our supervisor, and 4 other acquisitions assistant. It's okay. So since the library has a huge variety of physical and digital content, it requires a little bit of acquisition magic to acquire those items. All right, so let's start with some of the chores which we do on a daily basis. The morning we step into the library. First of all, we put the newspapers out in the featured section. We want our community to be well read and, have the popular opinion about the news and everything. We also download invoices from various vendors into our library system, Sierra. We withdraw items and run a withdrawal report on the items that are no longer needed in our catalog. We download cards from selectors who created the different various vendor websites into Sierra. We also read magazines to keep our library shelves updated and new. Our main responsibility is to create records when the items are purchased. So when the selectors give us requests on what to buy, they tell us the title, the quantity, and 2 very important codes which are required to purchase an item. Those codes are location codes, which tell us which item goes to which part of the collection. That can be new and popular, that can be kids book, senior, or maybe regular fiction. And the fun codes, it tells us the budget line we use to pay those items. So we have the fund codes for everything. We have separate fund codes for magazines, for books, for AVs, even donations. Once the requests come in, we search thoroughly all the vendor website to find the best pricing and availability of those items. And once we do that, we create what you call a short bib. Short bibs are basically the title, the ISBN, and the publishing date of that particular item. And thereafter, the cataloging department will complete that bib once the item is received. We also create a purchase order, which is overlooked by the staff as well as the vendors. Those purchase orders contain very important information like how many quantity of the items is required, the vendor codes, function, the location code, and the fund code as well. We pay invoices from our end, but the finance department, they finalize the whole process in the end. So once the items are received, we thoroughly check for any discrepancies and make sure everything is what we asked for. If there are any damages or the quantity is up and down, we take it directly to the vendor and resolve them. We also run the high demand polls report and we order items accordingly. This is a weekly process we do twice. And these are very popular polls on all the popular books. And we have a set ratio to order those books. So for books, we have 3:1. So for every 3 polls, we order 1 book. And for, sorry, no, that's okay. And for every video games, it's 8:1. For DVDs and Blu-rays, it's 6:1. If anybody has come to the collections department, you can see how quiet it is, but we need a way to communicate with each other, right? So we use these flags. This is our language of communication. So when we put these flags in the item, it tells the other division where the item is going in the collection. So is it going new and popular? Is it going in the kids' world? Is it a donation? Is it senior center? These are the fast track holds flags, and these ensure that the items are cataloged and processed immediately because there are holes of the flags. And here we have around 33 flags that define the location of any item. Here are some fun facts about acquisitions. We withdraw more than 150 items every day. We have more than 20 vendors that include Ingram, Baker and Taylor, Amazon, Midway States, etc. We receive more than 30 boxes and Amazon packages on a daily basis. Orders can vary from boxes containing 60 items in one box, or maybe just one item from Amazon package. By the end of the August, we created more than 43,000 orders, including magazines. From January 2025, more than 140 items were returned thanks to Amazon packaging and reordered due to damage, mostly Amazon and some from Ingram. More than 25 invoices are paid daily from our end, and more than 200 items are received every single day. Let's take it over to cataloging.
Hi, I'm Aarti Jaishankar, cataloging assistant. We have 2 cataloging librarians, including my supervisor, Dosha Valenska, and 3 cataloging assistants. Our division is responsible for cataloging materials, all types of materials, creating and maintaining detailed bibliographic and authority records in the library catalog, assigning subject classifications according to national and local standards, and ensuring the materials are findable and accessible for the customers. We choose the best records from OCLC or and edit them and export them to our ILS, which is Sierra. If a record is not available, the cataloging librarians create new records and upload them to OCLC. These records typically include the author, access to author, title, subject, publication dates, etc. E-resources are downloaded monthly, and you can find they're downloaded every month. On numbers, we use Dewey Decimal classifications for all the nonfiction materials. We set holdings in OCLC for the items that we own, ensuring visibility to other libraries and ILL customers. We are also part of Lincoln, a partnership borrowing arrangement with several libraries in the area. We maintain authority control to standardize names, titles, and subject headings. For example, Stephen King will have his name authority record, will have information on the pseudonyms of Beryl Evans and Richard Bachman. So we use the name authority record authorized form. So if you ever see a different name on the spine label of a book and the title page, it's because we use the authorized names of them. Local DEI subject headings are added every month, and you can find these on the SharePoint page of the collection services. Gosha and Eve run reports, which we call as sweeps, to find and correct database inconsistencies to keep the library catalog as clean and accurate as possible. We ensure that the appropriate flags that we talked about earlier are placed in the material so that processing division can affix overlays, labels, and stickers accurately. Items are withdrawn every day from the catalog, sorted, and they get stamped by volunteers and passed on to friends of the library. We support a variety of special and seasonal initiatives like award books, summer reading, OBLB, new collections like Yoga audiobooks, collection demonstration displays like the curated displays, influencers displays, holidays, etc. We have recatalogging projects that we do. One of them is what we call as unnewing, which is basically transitioning the new and popular to the stacks areas. Other examples include recatalogging different genres of music and movies to the newly created format DVDs. We changed the foreign DVDs to world DVDs to provide inclusivity. And according to the kids books selector, we have quite a few kids graphic novels from the series title to authors. All books by one author is found on the shelf next to each other. There are some quick stats. On average per month, we add 3,200 items. Items withdrawn can be anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000. New records downloaded is about 60,000 a month. And originally cataloging records catalog is about 32 to 35 a month. And now, on to processing.
Hi, my name is Lena Bullock and I'm processing supervisor. We have two processing assistants, Sandy and Yoni in our division. Both jobs and new projects started by other division go to the finish line in processing. There is a spreadsheet from processing with all statistics. First, replacing new dividers in music CD collection. It's 1,800. Then this is actually the collection. Library collection from November to August. We added 160 items with all this taping, reinforcing, marking, labeling. It's a big job. It's impressive. The library has evolved significantly beyond traditional book and AD collections. Today, it encompasses a wide range of materials, including digital resources, multimedia, specialized equipment, and unique library of things items. As a result, role of processing has expanded. Processing now handles a broader spectrum of materials, each requiring different workflow and levels of care. This has made work more complex, but also more complete, in ensuring that all types of collections are properly prepared for access and long-term use. The processing division is responsible for ordering all processing supplies for the entire library, as well as all office supplies for our department. Also, processing checks, return lot items for missing part and conditions. After holiday, we may have up to 50 items to inspect that morning.
I'm Sandy Kempen, I'm processing assistant. Processing is the final area of collection services, and we put the finishing touches on everything. That entails tasks such as wrapping paper book covers in Mylar, making sure all the labels are on every item, making sure that various non-book items are in whatever container they need to go into, and we also take puzzle and game boxes to ensure their longevity. That's a real mess. Most items in processing receives it has one of the bookmarks in it, or the flags as we call them, to make sure that we have the correct number of labels, the type of labels, and what it's going into container wise. And did you know we have over 60, that's 60 different kinds of labels, tapes, stickers, and overlays. And that ranges from things like a picture book description that says famous friends, it has a little search line on it, to whether or not we do 1 or 2 blue or orange dots on the Library of Things items. What color overlay we're putting on for the marketplace, orange, blue, yellow, and now pink. And then with audios, we insert the blue problem slip and put a donut on every disc. Whether it's a CD, DVD, audio book, or something that's inserted into a book. The donut label says Arlington Heights Memorial Library, and it has the last 8 digits of the barcode. So if things get separated, you know where it goes back to. Also, any non-book item that has multiple pieces also has those little barcode things on them. So we put them on toys, on the back of kids' puzzle pieces. Library of Things will have either handwritten or maybe a little tape with the barcode on it. So we have all these things to do. So all of this is coordinated communication between the 4 divisions. Cataloging, selections, acquisitions, processing. Once we finish the item, it gets put on a cart and it gets delivered to wherever in the library it needs to go. We have some things for the staff lounge, we have things for ESL, circulation. It really is magical between what we do and how customers get it. So if you have any questions, feel free to call us or text us, whatever you want. Yeah. Can you make that? Thank you. Thank you.
That's a lot.
The books when they're withdrawn. What happens to the books when they're withdrawn?
We get them stamped, and by the volunteer, and they go on to the friends of the library. They sort them out and,
You can put it back
the
on
book
sale.
sales, whatever sale they have, or send it to Better World Books.
And if they're really damaged, then
If they're really bad, then just toss it.
then there's a big bin outside.
Well, it's nice that they go into the friends because it like supports the library in a different way, right?
Yeah, everything that we withdraw goes to the friends.
Yeah. What is Better World Books?
Better World Books is an organization, they take books in good condition.
They will sell them if they can, like on Amazon, and then whatever they don't sell, they recycle. So we're not, the main benefit is we're not filling the landfill with our withdrawn items.
Nice.
Because at times the friends can only sell that many books.
Yeah.
And if they have a lot, then.
Well, the Yeah.
Yeah.
How many copies of certain books you can have.
It does receive a very tiny amount back.
Yeah.
From their sales, so it's very substantially less than our friends produce, but
Right.
it does give us a little
Right.
bit there.
And you can even buy books from them online.
Okay,
Yeah, you can even have your account.
nice.
So,
Well, that's a lot. It's like when a bill becomes a law, but it's like when an item becomes a item at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library. I remember the days when my kids would request books and then they came in and they were like amazed that it actually worked. So thank you for that.
That's the whole process, the
Yeah.
volume,
Yeah,
like just the numbers of how many books are coming in and how many pieces that you are actually touching on a month over month basis.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
and I'm sure during COVID, the Library of Things and puzzles and games. Cause I know I took out a lot of puzzles and it really must have increased and. Once people know there's free puzzles at the library, why would they ever buy one again, right?
Absolutely, and every day it's like the Christmas for especially the acquisitions department, because we get to open all the packages
Yeah.
first and get the first hands on every book that comes in through. So yeah, it's like everyday Christmas for us.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much for
Thank
all
you.
you do. We appreciate it so much. All right, moving on to old business. Yes?
Yes. So we have two policies being brought tonight. Both of these policies will be discussed at the committee of the whole meeting. So we're bringing them tonight for further discussion and or approval. The first one is adoption of the proposed revision to policy 7.016 alcohol. We did talk about this one. The big change with this, the only change with this is changing from serving alcohol to serving and selling alcohol. So it's basically a one-word change within there. We're adding the word selling in the line, the serving or selling of alcohol is not permitted at any event unless first approved by the library's executive director. And then we're removing the line prohibiting the sale of alcohol, the selling of alcohol, or tickets for alcoholic beverages is prohibited. Since our last meeting, we have had further discussion with the insurance company. There is, if we are selling ourselves here at the library, then there is an additional dram insurance that we would need to purchase, and that we will move forward with that if we do that.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? We've discussed this a bit at our last meeting. No, I would take a motion.
I move that the Board of Library Trustees adopts the proposed revisions to policy 7.016 alcohol.
Second, okay, that motion was submitted by trustee Burrell with a second by trustee McLean. Let's take a roll call.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Galvin,
Yes.
trustee McLean,
Yes.
trustee Meadow,
Yes.
trustee Watts.
Yes.
President Samari.
Hi. All right, and
Okay.
next,
Next one is adoption of the proposed revisions to policy 7.0025 American with Disabilities Act compliance. So the changes that were made to this policy really just kind of bringing it up to date with the American with Disabilities Act. And in alignment with our own ADA transition plan. Some of the key updates are recognition of miniature horses as service animals. No longer the requirement for identifying gear for the animals. Clarification regarding emotional support animals and updating accessible library contact information because our TTY line has been discontinued by the provider, but replaced with a text-based communication. And then also outlines the grievance procedure better than our previous, different than our previous policy in that it's now up to date with the most recent ADA laws.
I'm just curious, do ADA laws change every year frequently or?
I don't think it's very often. I think it's every.
Yeah, I mean, so
Number
this
of years.
policy's been about 4 years, about 4.5 years. Okay. All right, I would accept a motion.
Sure, I move that the Board of Library Trustees adopts the proposed revisions to policy 7.0025 Americans with Disabilities Act compliance. Seconded.
All right, that motion was put forth by trustee Gala and seconded by trustee Watts. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Burrell?
Yes.
Trustee Gala?
Yes.
Trustee McLean?
Yes.
Trustee Meadow?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
President Smart?
Aye. All right. And do we have any new business?
No new business?
No new business. How about other?
I do have one thing in the other, just want to give you guys a quick update on the construction. Construction on the second floor is moving along very nicely. We obviously have the second floor closed off. They've gone through, done the demolition on the first phase of the second floor project and are starting to put things back together. I have a few pictures here that I can, that I'll share. So, this next screen. Nope, is the layout of the second floor, and I realize it's very difficult to kind of discern what's happening here. But the left side of the screen in blue, is the far left is the Hendrickson room. That's a large gray square there. In front of that, or below that, I'm sorry, is the lobby. And then to the right of that is the study rooms, and then the staff lounge. So all of the area in blue is being worked on right now. From that, they're gonna move to the green, yellow, and red areas. They're gonna be in this area till, I believe, mid-October. Then they'll move to the green area through the rest of October, yellow area for about 3 weeks in November, and then the red area to finish up. So
Wow.
this is what the lobby looks like. That's the one, the picture on the left. So the ceiling is completely gone, all the lighting is gone, the grid is gone. The carpeting in this picture is still there, that's the old carpeting. They're leaving the carpeting until they have all the demo done, then they'll remove the carpeting, put all the new stuff in, and then replace the carpeting. The picture on the right is the admin hallway, or not the admin hallway, but the hallway that's going back to the study rooms. As you can see, that ceiling has been removed. Staff, me and another staff member were actually here Sunday cleaning up a lot of data cables and stuff in there because we had to for compliance with village to meet code. So that was a change that we were not expecting, but since we came in over the weekend, we're not affecting the timeline, which is really our main goal there. Then here's just some more pictures. That's the staff lounge on the left. Again, the ceiling's out and ceiling grid's gone, lighting's gone. On the right there is one of the study rooms. That's one of our larger study rooms. The carpeting is gone in that one. The ceiling remains, the lighting remains in there. That is part of an area that was updated 10 or 12 years ago, but it does have an updated ceiling, and we updated the lighting in there already to LED. So that was part of the that lighting project that we're talking about, the conversion. Those rooms have already been done.
Is there a place that staff is able to lounge?
Yeah. Yes.
Where is that?
You go back here and show you. So on this floor plan, you can see the Hendrickson room there on the left.
Yeah.
And then that green strip on the left, that's the emergency exit for the Hendrickson room, and it exits the Hendrickson room. And then goes down to the AV area. So what we did is we put that in a separate phase. And we blocked off half the Hendrickson room. Half of it is storage of furniture because of all the furniture from the study rooms and stuff. And then the other half is the kind of makeshift staff lounge. So we put tables and chairs in there, the refrigerator, microwave and stuff like that. For people that are not able to make the stairs, we also have another smaller lounge on the lower level near drive up. So we have some back office area back there with some chairs and tables and a refrigerator and microwave down there as well. So we do have two nice spots that are set up for staff lunch.
Other than the knows that you had to deal with over the weekend, have there been any other unexpected challenges?
No, knock on wood. Nothing yet, no. It's been pretty, pretty good. We did have a couple of small change orders, but nothing significant, and they were absorbed within the allowance. We are also adding a half height wall in Kids World, since we have the contractors here. This was one of the things that we had budgeted for this year was to kind of separate that tween space from the hallway coming in. And so that is on the docket that will come out of contingency, and we did have money budgeted for that as well. So this is a picture as of this morning. On the left, that is the grid, the ceiling grid that's already going up outside the Hendrickson room that's in the lobby there. So they're moving pretty quickly there. They're gonna start putting in electrical probably within the next week or so. And then on the right, that is the new carpeting that's been laid in the new area. So there's 4 study rooms that you see right there. Those have all been carpeted already, as well as the hallways. I believe there's 8 study rooms that are complete, and the hallways for those 2 sections are complete. Being that the ceiling's already been done there, that we're not touching it, they can go ahead and lay the carpet. The rest of the hallway and the other areas, they're gonna wait until all of that construction is complete. They're gonna get the ceiling tiles in, and then we'll come back and do the carpet. But
Is it loud at all for people in the library?
I haven't heard any complaints. I haven't heard anything upstairs. It's been, this is pretty quiet. It does get loud when they're doing like the bathrooms and stuff because they're chipping away the tiles. We're gonna start the restrooms, down, there's one down a drive up there we're gonna do, and then one collections, IT area in the back that we'll be doing. We're probably gonna start that next week. So they were waiting to get some, I guess, some of the tile that they were waiting on. They wanted to have that in place before they start chipping away, so.
Great.
That's it for that. So things are moving along really well. We're on schedule and on budget.
Nice.
So-
And last night, One Book, One Village was presented
Yes.
to the Arlington Heights trustees.
Yes, so Sherry Tater and Neil Parker presented OBOB at the village board meeting. Went very well. They did a phenomenal job. So yeah, the village was very receptive and very complimentary of the library. It was nice, and Greg said a few nice words too.
Very well. We have 3 former library board members on the board, so that's a lot. Yeah, good. Anything else?
No, that's all I had.
That's all. Oh, we have, tomorrow is the birthday of one of our trustees, so happy early birthday, Miss
Thank you.
Carol Metal, trustee Metal.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, well, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.